The biggest compliment you can get as a practitioner is that your participants really walked with their insights. And what I mean by that is that they translate their experiences, tapping into their subconscious or awarenesses, into something concrete. And they, by that, make a difference for their own lives and maybe for many others. How can you pull this off? This is not very difficult. You can do this actually in 3 steps, which I will tap in right now. And having said that, these 3 steps you can apply on every exercise, on the H exercise, the O, the S, in every exercise you will do from now on. There's really an opportunity there, because I see a lot of trainers that actually miss that part, making the extra effort of making people changing things in their own environment, to put them in action. So you will be equipped to do this after this video. So again, why is experiential learning, which we will be facilitating through those 3 steps, so important? Well, nowadays we were focused on linear learning, on learning something by heart from A to Z. But what we would love to facilitate as well is active learning. How you can learn by reflecting on your own experiences through, the experience of a group or by yourself. This is very powerful and something that we need more and more as of today in the education system, in organizations, in your own environment. When you're an entrepreneur, you need to be able to do things in order to learn and to pivot and change things in the moment and to improve them. So learning and development in a continuous way, this is something that we should, as of today, facilitate, and this exercise will help you by that. So the 3 steps are the brief, the side coach, and the debrief. The first part is the brief. So when you start the H exercise, for example, your objective can be, okay, with this exercise we will unlock energy and fun. This is sufficient. Don't go into many details because people will get lost. They just need to grasp a little bit of the framework, what you will be doing with them. So 1 objective. Be bold with that. Later on you get all the, good stuff, the other reflections about it. The debrief. This is all about creating a safe haven, as I often call it. Creating a safe environment for everyone in the space. And this can be people that feel a little bit insecure and are maybe timid. And this can also be for the people that are quite bold and have a lot of courage and do this exercise all the time. You want to challenge them too, right? So, for example, with the H exercise, what you can do when people are actually executing your assignment, so they jump and they clap, etc., you can walk through the audience, your participants, the duos. So when you see a duo that has a hard time and their, perfectionism often kicks in, they want to do it perfect, and of course this exercise is all about that. There's no perfectionism as such. I'm near them, so they can kind of feel me, and I say, okay, well done, great going, this is just a game, don't take it too seriously, and I smile, and I don't patronize them. However, I would love to encourage them so they're not the only ones that feel, they don't feel isolated or alone in this simulation, so to speak. For the same part, for the people that have a great time, they find it really easy, maybe they stop the exercise because they feel a little bit bored, tell them, no, pick it up again, because it starts to become really interesting as soon as you think you get the exercise. And try to speed up if you think you already get it. So you challenge them a little bit, you nudge them to go the extra mile. I often use the metaphor of entrepreneurship. Often as entrepreneur, when you know something works, you walk away from it because you want to create something new. No, when something works, try to scale it, right? Try to make it even more perfect or beautiful or impactful. Try to reach out for more people to benefit from your product. So, well, make sure you translate it to your work context. This is just a little example. But you get the picture. You challenge the people that needs to be challenged, and you are humble for the people that feel a little bit out of their comfort zone And yeah, make sure that they're open to learn. Otherwise, yeah, if you're in the panic zone, you're not open to learn. So that's good feedback maybe for you to know when you facilitate these exercises. Then you have the, so that was the side coaching. My apologies, side coaching. And then you have the debrief. The debrief is about wrapping up the session, and this here is where you facilitate the translation from experience to actually doing. So experience, and here is action. And this is where the change happens, right? When people really get into action. This could be really concrete, changing things in their own lives, or having a different way of thinking. This is also very important for people. How you can pull this off is by asking 3 power questions. The first question you can ask is, what is your experience? How did you experience the exercise? For example, the H exercise. How did you experience, jumping and clapping at the same time, etc. The second question can be, what can you do with it? What can you do with it? And the third question, what will you do with it? So here you can see this is kind of a flow. First, people just, it's very easy to, relatively easy to talk about your experiences, like, oh, I felt this, la la la. And then what can you do with it? Oh, wow, now we have to think of something practical, of our own work practice or life practice. And then you ask, okay, now you know, now you feel focus really helps you in your work and you want to do more with it, what will you do tomorrow? And then you kind of make them think and commit to a next step to actually implement. And when people talk out loud and there's people in the room and they tell it to themselves and maybe even write it down, it's very powerful, and often people will execute this first step. It doesn't have to be the Mount Everest already, but just the first step towards their goal to get more focused, for example, in their work. So then you have accomplished a very big thing, and that is, giving them the experiential learning experience and empower them to come up with their own next step to get them in action. There might be some challenges when you facilitate or side coach people. The first one is time. I mean, I don't know, if you have 30 minutes only during this mini course, then I would invite you to choose some of those power questions. You also see in this mini course that not for every exercise I ask 3 questions. That's just too long, and it doesn't really feel natural if you all the time ask, what did you experience? What did you experience? So kind of play with it, I often wrap up the session with the S exercise, and then I will go into the experiential learning bit, and not for every single step. And what can you do with it? These kind of questions kind of play around with it. The next thing is that what I often see with practitioners, they kind of take it as a blueprint, as a script. Again, there's many other power questions as you have seen in the O exercise to create more openness with the flow and the stagger exercise training. I asked a lot of power questions there too, as you can see in the instruction video. It's not per se only those 3, because I'm very present and I try to resonate with the people that connect with me, and I don't want to throw them something in their face that's not something they're actually looking for. So again, it's also about your own presency and wisdom and trust on your gut feeling. This is just a framework, and again, play with it and make it your own. So I hope this was really valuable for you, and make sure you check out the final video. Have fun.